Cam Smith, will he actually level up and bring something real this season? I catch those murmurs too. The kind of buzz you hear in camp, like he finally gets it. The feel-good lines you swallow when the pads are fresh. But let's be honest, training camp is a story factory. You want hope, you want confidence. So Cam goes all in. I'm not saying the kid is buried or hopeless. Hell, I think he slides on the roster. But major impact? I'm skeptical. I'm talking about regular snaps, big plays, being a defensive difference maker. Maybe he surprises. Maybe the coaches see something we don't. But right now, it's too early to crown him. Will he push starters? Will he close out games? That's a steep climb from just makes the team. Punting showdown, Bailey versus Stonehouse. Who wins? It's not just booming the ball like you'd think. Special teams boss Craig Aukerman said spring that they weigh a bunch of stuff. Pure power, placement control, directional punts, plus holding for Jason Sanders' perfection. You get the picture. Bailey looks sharper in the wrist flick, nails those pin-down punts, plus handles the whole duty smoothly. Stonehouse can boom it into orbit, enough to shift field position in a heartbeat. So if you want consistency and fewer block risks, Bailey takes the nod. If you want a game changer on the far side of the field, maybe Stonehouse edges the leg play. Still feels like a tight call. One performance can tip the scales. Injuries, man, why do some players just break? It's punishing. Yeah, luck plays a part. Freak hits, bad breaks. But what about conditioning, or maybe genetics? Some guys treat their body like an afterthought. Others maybe just weren't built for the collision course the sport demands. And then there are those dudes who seem to walk through camp unscathed. Some combination, preparedness, awareness, structural predisposition, and a dash of dumb luck. Hard to separate. Part science, part lifestyle, part fate. Minka rejoining the squad. You think he's cool coming back? He's been silent since the trade. No quotes, no emotion on record. Hard to say. Someone with pride probably wanted to stay in Pittsburgh. But here's the thing. His versatility is gold. Dolphins will deploy him in multiple looks. Maybe roam center field deep most often. He peaks there. Does he light up the locker room again or hang back? Time will tell. But defensively, you can bet he'll be sprinkled in on third down packages or split safety alignments to confuse offenses. Best weapon? His flexibility. About NWI, the WR3 signing. Shaky start at OTAs. For days of camp, not enough to judge. Yet he's quiet at first, then shows up in the final practices. That's progress more than production. Maybe his routes are cleaner. Maybe his hands stick catches in traffic. If he shows up when pressed, that's more than enough. You don't get reps by default. You earn them by making something happen when they're sparse. He hasn't done anything headline-worthy, but I'm not writing him off. Taking reps behind Tua. Any backup shine yet? And how's that young left OL duo coming along? I can't name names. That credentialed media rule forbids us. But yeah, someone is getting looks with the starting unit besides Tua. And the left side, Patrick Paul and Jonas Savaiania, they're moving. Growth shows in those subtle reps. They're not fumbling, not getting beat off the line. They're keeping the pocket clean just enough to get trust. Both refitting their rookie learning curves, but they're trending upward. Paul and Savaiania pressure immense? Draft status says yes. Expectations? You want starters. You want high-end performance. Not necessarily pro bowlers, but top 10 discussion. If they can anchor one side reliably, push the rush-off structure, that's huge. If they collapse under NFL muscle, that's a problem. Pressure is welcome when you grind results. Guard shuffle. Savaiania at left. James Daniels sliding right. Weird flex. Maybe. Daniels has experience moving, but the thought is, pairing Jonah and Paul on one side could spark cohesion. Same camaraderie, same technique language. Swapping Daniels gives the right guard side veteran muscle. It's a gamble, but synergy can win adjustments. Tight ends. Will there be another move? Unless something catastrophic happens? No. Darren Waller is the receiving threat they brought in for Jonas Smith's role. Blocking depth with Hill and Brown is solid. There's room for special packages, but I don't see a chase for another pass-catching tight end unless injuries pile up. You're covered. Waller slings the chains. The rest do the dirty work. Balanced. Last season's energy drain, that swirl in the locker room? You felt it. Even Coach McDaniel seemed flat at times. Muddy vibes. Contracts in play, players focused on extensions, negotiations buzzing mid-season. It's a mood killer. Burns salary? He's getting full pay if he stays on IR the season. No need for a settlement unless he wants out to rehab and sign elsewhere. That cap hit is locked, and the team didn't look to wiggle out. Offense had identity issues last year. Injuries piling up. Atmosphere got weird. That carries over unless leadership resets.